All right, top of the morning, everybody. You got the Aired Out podcast live, as always, from North Main Street in beautiful Barrie, Vermont, where the sun is shining this morning. It is a beautiful day. It is going to be a whole heck of a lot less humid, although I call bullshit on that because right now I think it's wicked hot and humid. But they're saying 77 for the daytime high today. You can see Raylene behind me. Raylene, it's going to be hotter than 77. It's got to be today. God, sunny 77. Right now we have temperature of, I'm just checking here, 70. So, anyway, feels like it's 90. We got a lot going on this morning. Matt and Bess here with us from Rooted Entertainment. We're watching some of the news headlines this morning as well. Want to say the weather is going to be perfect tonight for double feature night over at the nation's site of excitement, Barrie's Thunder Road. If you're planning on going, it is going to be amazing. 54 degrees under the stars. Maybe even, dare I say, pack a sweatshirt tonight if you're going to the races. Wow. It's going to be beautiful. Also want to, before we even get started this morning, let you know that there is some room. Actually, there's a good amount of room for the next CDL course going on over at Giroux General Transport. If you would like to get in, July 29th is the next startup, and classroom spots are available. You have an opportunity to change your life. Get your CDL Class A, of course, the most common, the easiest for employment. Here's the phone number to call. Tracy over at Giroux General Transport is 802-279-3325. Visit them on Facebook. Find out everything you need to know. But we want to get that out right away this morning. Also, if you should, right now, if you're driving, just take a glance up at the top left-hand corner of your windshield and have a look and see when the last time you had an oil change was. It's the top left.
It's the bottom left.
Top left for me.
Have you gotten it? Well,
What?
put mine in the bottom.
All right, well, how did they screwed you up? Because most people, it's the top left. You look at the little sticker, and it tells you the mileage when you need your next oil change. We're talking about Vermont Quick Lube, obviously. One of our sponsors has been forever. They're open Tuesday through Friday from 7:30 to 5, Saturdays from 8 to 1. Call or stop by if you want. You don't even need to. You don't have to call. You don't have to make an appointment. You just drive up. You stay right there in the comfort of your vehicle. They got the drive-through service. You can shut your engine off, take a nap if you want, eat your lunch, make a phone call, whatever you want. They're going to take good care of you. Oil changes, tire changes, rotations, brakes, some light mechanical work stuff on your brakes, whatever you got to rattle, they'll take care of that too. But get over to Vermont Quick Lube, Vermont Quick Lube, or vermontlube.com, South Barrie Road. Stories that we're following this morning, of course, national scene. J.D. Vance introduced himself to the nation last night. Biden's got COVID. Right here in Vermont, our AG, Charity Clark, is suing CVS and Evernorth for driving up prescription costs. That's a story that we've got for you this morning. The story out of Derby about Kayla Wright, who is the young woman who was murdered and put in a toolbox and then dumped in a river. All drug-related stuff that happened up in the Northeast Kingdom. 3 people charged in that. One of them from Hartford. He was the guy that pulled the trigger not once but 3 times to take Kayla Wright's life. 2 people from Vermont who were part of disposing her body. The guy from Hartford, Connecticut, is already behind bars, but now he's facing that murder charge. And the 2 people from Vermont also in a whole heap of trouble here. I'm not sure if they're behind bars or what the deal is there, but Goddard College is back on the market. We have that story up on our Facebook page. I think Raylene dropped that yesterday. We got the story about the wrong way driver in Thetford on Route 5, not 91 this time, or 89, but Route 5. So many of us drive Route 5. I do all the time. 2-lane road. Hard to believe that 37-year-old Rachel Rich was driving the wrong way on Route 5, completely hammered, drunk, with not one kid in the car, but 5. Thank God some citizens were able to stop that car early enough. This all went down July 13th, so not too long ago. But our citizens, our Vermonters, stopped that car before the police were able to be there. And of course, the story about the woman from Enosburg, big disappearance case, another one. It seems like this is a weekly occurrence in the news here in Vermont. For some reason, people are disappearing. This one is considered suspicious circumstances. So there's more to the story. You can read all about it. We have it on our page, but it's easy to find. Also, a story in Vermont about a lot of trailheads, hiking trails that are closed because of washout, because of the storms. So many trails are closed. So if you're planning on doing any hiking anytime, I would say for the rest of the summer, you really should check out the Green Mountain Club or find out before you head out if the trail is open. I know Monroe up to Camel's Hump, which is a very popular trail, is closed until further notice. And that combined with the fact that a lot of lakes and ponds and swimming areas in Vermont are also still closed. Vermont State Parks closing that because of the floodwaters. So check before you head out in your car. Man, so much happening. These two folks that are sitting right across from me, I love you guys so much. Matt and Bessie from Rooted Entertainment Solutions in Bradford. And we have Mika with us, too. The camera's not quite on Mika, but you guys brought your dog in this morning, and she's beautiful. You guys are beautiful. You're wonderful people. And we were chatting a little bit yesterday and last night, and I'm just so glad that you're here. We have to talk about this Green Mountain Reggae Festival. This is, I was thinking about you this morning, Matt. One of the things that I love about you is you're passionate about the music. You got the left side and the right side of the brain both firing at the same time. Would you agree, Bessie?
I agree.
This guy, he's so, relaxed, casual, easygoing. He's got the bare feet this morning, but also very, very, very particular, business minded. Like, I don't know if that's the left or the right side going, but he knows what he wants, and he is very, very specific and particular about what he wants and how he wants to execute an event, whether it's a music festival or otherwise. I love that about you, man. That's very unique. There's a lot of people that are walking around kind of just floating around in the clouds, kind of half-assed, and that's not you.
Try.
You do a great job, man. Our chat that we had over at the listening room, which is your location over there in Bradford, right on Route 5, is something that I won't soon forget. We had a nice evening there, I don't know, a month ago or so.
Yeah.
Went a lot later than I anticipated. So tell me, let's run down some of the basic points of this Green Mountain Music Festival, Reggae Festival, I should say. And already we have a good number of people that are locked in. They know that you're going to be on this morning. You guys have both been on in the past. This is coming up in September. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so September 6th through the 8th, Bradford, Vermont, at the fairgrounds. It's a beautiful facility that, honestly, I've been here for like a little over 3 years. It's across the road. I've never been to it, and I walked over there in May, and I'm like, this is it. This is the place. The reggae festival's always been in the pocket, for the last I don't know how many years, wanting to do it. And then when I saw the fairgrounds, I was like, yeah, we can do this. This is home.
And it's right there in an artery. I mean, 91.
Yeah.
It's bringing the north, the south, everybody.
Yeah, you can hit 91 with a stone right from the fairgrounds. Pretty much, it's 2 hours from New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts. So it's a nice and centrally located, beautiful spot. Edge of the Green Mountains, right on the Connecticut.
Sure.
Looking at the green or looking at the whites. It's really great.
And let's say this to all of our Burlington peeps. Quick skip, just jump on 89. Bang, you're on 91, and you're right there, literally.
Yep. And we shoot through, when we go to Burlington, we come through here. Take, what is this, 302?
Yeah.
25, 302, and then hit 89. But yeah, it's just as easy, 89 down to White River, and then up to 91.
The bill on this show is something that has not only my attention, but many music lovers. And I say music lovers because this is, even though this is a reggae festival, people come to your events not necessarily only reggae fans, just people who appreciate music for what it is. You get all walks of life. You get folks that love country music that come to your stuff, rap music, whatever, rock, whatever it is. But this when you said to me a month ago or so that you were working Coyote Island, what was my reaction to that?
Yeah, right?
I freaked, man.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they've been on repeat since we met them in April. Yeah.
Tell me about both of you. Tell me about Coyote Island.
So they, I guess the initial connection with them is our friends at Winooski Organics have this friendship that came with the old Friendly Gathering Festival, but it's an Airstream. It's a recording studio, so they've been. We've brought that back, and we've been recording things in it. And Coyote was one of the bands that they ended up with. And then their camp reached out wanting to do something with us again. And that's when we had them for the 420 thing in April.
Yes.
And that was our first time, my first time seeing them. No, I guess we saw them.
Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf. Yeah. So before we had booked them for the 420 thing in April, the weekend, 2 weekends before that, we were playing with them because we toured with Sundub. They were playing the same festival at Sugarloaf in Maine, and they were amazing. They had 2 sets. They were late night. The second set, they had everybody that was around sitting in with them. At one point, there was 4 horns on stage.
Yeah. Finnegan from Sundub sat in with them.
Yeah.
That was really special. Yeah.
Yeah, horn. Yeah,
Finn got in on them?
yeah,
He did.
He was on there for a bit. Lee Ross, who's a sax player, I believe he's from Vermont. The horn player, Matt from Mighty Mystic, was up there. What was that other band? There was a band that opened up. They were, I have to remember them. They were amazing. But they had 3 or 4 horns, and they were up there. It was cool. Yeah, they're great. Their music. That was the first time I'd heard it, and then the following weekend, we accidentally ran into them in Maine in between that show and our show. We were up there. I was getting my dreads.
No, it was the weekend after.
The weekend after the dreads?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were up there.
Yeah, we went Sugarloaf and then 420, and then it was the next weekend.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I guess it was the following weekend we saw them again. But randomly, I happened to be up there. And they were playing 10 minutes from where we were. We had no idea at this beautiful little facility in Arundel, Maine.
Vinegar Hill.
Vinegar Hill, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So and then we ran into the drummer, Ryan. He's got another band called Hambone. We ran into him, I think that was the week before, right?
Yeah, it was
I don't
all
know,
it was
but
all
we,
very
it was
synchronistic.
nonstop.
Yeah.
All of April, every weekend in April, we were with at least Ryan, the drummer.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they've been great. So we definitely wanted them. Sundub, Mighty Mystic, they're obviously shoe-ins because we work with them, and they've been killing it in Vermont the last year. Got a really great following. They've been doing, and they love Vermont.
They do.
It's a second home for. I mean, every band I bring up here like,
Yes.
or in here or whatever.
Loves.
They're just like, this ends up being the second home, you know.
Yes.
And then Forbins over there, they definitely help with the situation, you know.
Please, please, I beg of you, please don't let me forget to talk about what's coming up on
Yep.
the 27th right here in the Granite City with Forbins. But Sundub, I was introduced to those guys at your Green Mountain Smokeout with my friend Chris Massey, who's tuned in this morning, and he and I both experienced Sundub for the first time ever and became instant fans. And I'll forever be grateful to you guys for not only introducing me to them, but for also just making sure that incredible quality music like this can make its way to our little state from big areas, big states. I mean, Sundub's from, what, New York City, right?
Brooklyn, yeah.
Or Brooklyn, yeah. Whew. I just, you know, Bessie, you just used the word synergy, I think, and synchronicity. Yeah, synchronicity. Okay, I'm thinking synergy.
That's
But
great word too.
When these guys, when all of them, I mean Sundub and Coyote Island, when they perform together, the synergy that's happening on stage is absolutely fascinating. Even if even if you're not even a lover of music or even this style of music of reggae, just to experience what's happening is truly magical. I mean, every single one of these guys, and I noticed that on the 420 show, is such a critical ingredient, and it's in a melting pot, and what's happening is amazing to experience it. I mean, especially, one of the big takeaways for me was that guitar player, not Michael, the lead singer, but the other guy.
Amir.
To see it. I mean, he's there on stage, but he's a fucking million miles away somewhere at the same time. You know what I'm talking about?
He
do.
performs. His performance is so awesome. He's so great. They all of them really.
Yeah, and then, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, they all the
All of
guitar,
them.
everybody has their thing, and they all are really great. But the thing with Amir is watching him out. You've got every guitar's got their shredder face, right?
Sure.
And some of them, they tilt back, eyes go back in their head. Some of them get really in, and they're like, digging it.
Yeah.
Amir is tearing up these solos, shredding his guitar, shooting people with his guitar, and like making eyes and having conversations with his eyes. And
I
it's
know.
just like, what are you like?
I know.
And his hands are just, it's like it's two different people happening. He's got someone up here talking and someone down here doing this. And just like,
I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the time his eyes are closed. When I see him perform, he's traveled somewhere like almost like Carlos Santana. I mean, he's there present, but he's somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's really the guy's transformed. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is.
It really is, and the joy. I mean, all of them. It's like pure joy when
Pure
they're
joy.
performing up there. It's amazing.
It's the happiest band I've ever seen.
Me too. Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like their performances is like they don't give a shit if there's 5 people in the audience or 1 million people. They perform the same way. Mm-hmm. It's their magic on stage that's created.
It's true.
So when you told me that I don't care if I'll tell you right now, and I'll tell Raylene too, if I'm in the hospital the weekend of September 6th, 7th, and 8th, I'm pulling out IVs and I'm making my way to the Bradford Fairgrounds for this. There's nothing that's going to stop me from
We'll
doing
help
that.
break you out.
Please.
Yeah,
Oh my God, please. I've had their Sugar Shack sessions on replay in my car since 420. Since 420.
You want to know a funny story? I went on a Coyote Island kick a couple months when we first met him in April.
Yeah,
and
me
I think it was
too.
like in the beginning of June. This thing popped up on my Spotify. It said, "Do you want to start a DJ thing, and it was trying to get me to start this DJ because you listened to Here Before 72 times last month.
Okay. I don't know how many times I have listened to Here Before, but it's probably right up there.
Yeah.
I'd like to find out. I'd like to get a little competition. See,
I'll play it again.
you think you got me?
Maybe.
Oh my God, it's such a great song.
I don't know. River is a good one too.
Yeah, all
They're
of
all
them are.
all right. Yeah.
And you know, I got to tell you, the first time that I heard Here Before, and I told Matt this story. I was at the 420 event. I was outside in that. Where was that? And I don't even know where it was.
Yeah, let's give a quick. I'd love to plug that for those guys because they,
Please do.
We helped pull off the 420. It's called Uplift.
Yeah.
Put on by Lamoille Connect. It was up at Lost Nation Brewing in
Okay.
Morrisville, Vermont. That was the first time it's been going on. I think it was the third year. First year was at Lost Nation. Lost Nation. Check out their music series. They've got something going on, I think, on Fridays. That's a great little, their warehouse is an awesome venue. Lamoille Connect, which is High Bricks and Cannabis Collective, and I think Northern Craft. They know how to put it on. It was a really great event, and we had some really amazing artists, and that's, I think, where you had your spiritual...
My spiritual
Coyote Island.
uplifting.
Yeah, uplifting. Yeah.
Nice.
I was outside with my friend Chuck and Chris Massey, and somebody had a joint that was I don't know, what are those things called? What are they called?
That 2-footer?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It's a
big,
2-footer.
huge joint
It was a 2 foot long
Two-footer.
joint.
with 3 ounces in
3
it.
ounces, yeah.
It 3 ounces in it, and it was handed to me. Yeah.
And you had a hard time passing it.
I may or may not have inhaled, but I mean, God, it was amazing. And then I'm sitting down with my friends there. We're listening to the music, and you're the DJ that you had that night. Damn, fella, throw some love at him real fast.
Who's that?
Green Lion.
Green Lion.
Green Lion. Yeah.
Oh.
Zeke. Yeah, Zeke's amazing. Yeah, he's great. Great at what he does.
So he was so good. Just I'd go to one of his shows alone. But what I'm saying is, I'm sitting there and I didn't know if I was listening to the DJ or if the band was playing. And when they started performing that live, I was distracted with Chuck and Chris, and I'm like, listen, I have never heard anything like this before. See ya. I got up and left, and I walked into the venue there, and that song just resonated, hit me right between the freaking eyes. And I actually took my phone out, and I've played this for you, Matt. I took my phone out, and of course I could play that now, but we'd get flagged for copyright and all that shit. But I took my phone out and started recording that song because I'm like, I don't know what the name of the song is, but I need to find out, and I'm going to capture it right now. And I actually said in that recording, which you've heard, Matt, I'm like, I've just never heard anything like this before. This is fascinating. The rhythms were they're not they change up. They change up. There's off beats and stuff. I don't know. I'm not a drummer. I'm just saying it was literally, I have never in my life heard music like that before. Same, Bessie, same for you.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
These-
Catchy.
Very catchy.
Yeah.
Very, very catchy music.
Psychedelic folk rock, reggae.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fusion of. There's so many things going on there. There's funk in there. There's almost some jazz tones. I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
And I would love someday to meet Michael and tell him what I think of him.
Yeah, that'll happen at the
Yeah.
Reggae Fest. We'll be doing our interviews in the back with everybody.
tell me about the rest of this bill. And
I know, right?
Yeah.
I could talk.
There
about,
are other bands
I
gonna be
know,
there.
I know, and I could talk about Coyote Island all
I have
day.
I have to look at the list because we do have. That's only the first lineup. There is a whole nother, probably another half that we
Okay.
haven't announced, and I don't want to be careful. I don't.
Why don't you? Did you name off all the bands?
I'm working on. So I'm
okay.
looking for the flyer right now.
I got the.
So yeah, so our obviously we've got our Sundub and Mighty Mystic who are staples in all the things that we do in creating this family of Northeast artists that we have. Everybody's on the same page. That's the thing with this whole thing. And 420 was Sugarloaf first. We were all at Sugarloaf Reggae Festival.
Yes.
Right? Sundub, Mighty Mystic, Coyote Island.
I wasn't there.
Green Lion Crew,
I missed it. I missed that.
And
show.
then we did the 420 thing, Uplift with everybody. We've had some other shows, Mystic and Sundub have toured a bunch, but it's all the same mission, We're using the music as the message to, for real change, more or less. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we've added, Mahali is coming. He's solo.
Dang.
There's another one that's just like, just a real great person, man. He like really, I watch him make the extra effort to go out there and he'd meet the fans, talk with the support acts he's with, and he just like, he's doing it for all the right reasons, and he's just he's
a
putting
lot
it
of
out
these
there.
a lot of these guys they love people, the souls of people, and they just don't have time for egos. And even if they're absolutely fucking awesome, they just don't have time for saying, "Hey, look at me." Rather, it's, "Hey, look at you."
Oh, I love that.
You're here. You're experiencing this with us, and we're all here together. And that's what's so amazing.
The
about
best
these
way
guys.
I've ever heard it put, to be honest with you. Yeah.
The Easy Star All Stars. My God, man.
Yeah, vintage,
How
right?
did you land that? How did you get them to
So-
come to Vermont?
Just reached out. They're
You just ask.
yeah, you just gotta ask. You don't know until you ask. So they were on the radar because they had popped up. They'd seen they'd done a few shows. But they're an Easy Star Records band, obviously, as is Sundub.
Yes.
And so reaching out to some of the same people.
Yeah.
Actually, so Brad Rosen of, I don't know, he's their agent, right? And I actually got contact with him. I reached out about Roots of Creation, Brad's Roots of Creation's manager, and they're unfortunately were not available. But then he threw me Easy Star. I'm like, wait a second, they're attainable, and started talking, and yeah, we got them, and I'm psyched about that because I can't imagine. I don't know when the last time they've been up here, if they've ever been up here, to be honest. So we have, there's that. But we're working on a couple other older, not vintage. They're not vintage quite yet. But,
I know what you're saying.
but yeah, we got a couple other headliners that kind of fit that same bill.
Tell me about Soul Rebel
Soul
Project.
Rebel Project is a band. It's wild. They've been on my Spotify for a bit. And then I got a friend back in Vermont, or back in Bradford, who helps a little bit with our media stuff. And he connected me one day in an email with this guy saying, "Hey, Matt, I want you to meet," sorry, I can't remember the guy's name right now, but from Soul Rebel Project.
Okay.
We're friends because he's from Boston, my friend here in town.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this name. They're on my Spotify. And I'm like, yeah, let's try to do something. And we've been talking about doing some other things, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, how about this thing? And they're like, yep. So we've got a few Boston. We got them and Mystics from Boston. Adria Joe, I believe she's out of Boston. But yeah, I'm so psyched. Soul Rebel was kind of a sneak. Wasn't even on my original list of bands, but it worked out great. They're going to bring a great vibe to the thing.
Just Mighty Mystic alone.
Well, I mean, that's what we've toured. We've done this run with Mystic and Sundub, and they just that alone, and then to turn around and add all these other dynamics and stuff to it. We've got a pretty cool Pretty cool lineup.
You guys
Very
have
eclectic.
presented us here at Air It Out with an opportunity to have not only Mighty Mystic on the air with us, but Sundub, to have Ben, the drummer, on the air with us several times is such a blessing, and we appreciate that so much. I mean, I was almost like a groupie for these guys. I mean, it's just like in Sundub, I fell in love with them instantly. Bought both their albums, and had those on replay pretty much all summer, last summer, and now I got Coyote Island fighting with them, and it's usually one of the two that's playing, and then like some of these bands that you have introduced to me, and they've fallen on my lap like meteors, dude. It's like, and I love a lot of kinds of music. I love jazz, I love rock, I love all kinds of 70s funk and whatnot. And but man, this is like really encompassed much of what's been going in my ears since the Green Mountain Smokeout. So September 6th, 7th, and 8th in Bradford, right there at the fairgrounds. Getting questions about tickets. They're available right now.
Tickets are available right now. Green Mountain Reggae Festival.com. Right now, there's weekend. We're just weekend passes because we obviously no one knows what the day lineup is. We don't even know what the second half of the lineup. So early bird weekend passes will go about 2 weeks. You're talking $100 for 3 days of music.
Yeah.
On top of the music, we're also
Life changing.
There's going to be workshops, from flow workshops like poi and hula hooping to tie-dye workshops.
Chiropractors.
So there's going to be a wellness village on top of that, and there's going to be massage therapists, chiropractors, Reiki practitioners,
Acupuncture.
whatever we can come up with, and then within that there'll be herbalists and different vendors selling healing products and medicine. We'll have a whole nother vendor row with retail and other craft vendors, food trucks, lots of different styles of food trucks from all over the world. Obviously they're from here, but different styles of food from all over the world.
Ethnic food.
Yep. Hopefully we've got there were some really great food trucks up at Sugarloaf. Larry, the guy that runs that, hooked me up with Jamaican food truck and a Caribbean food truck.
Doing some jerk chicken and whatnot.
Beef patties.
Beef patties and
Yoga, dance instruction.
Yep.
Drum workshops.
Yep. Hopefully we'll have some different style African drumming to Caribbean drumming.
Who's that guy that I met? Jordan? Was it Jordan? The drummer.
Drum teacher?
The drum teacher?
Yeah.
Where did you meet him?
Dude, he stopped at my house one day because I was selling a motorcycle on the front lawn.
What?
That's awesome.
Believe it?
Yeah.
No
Pulls
kidding.
in, he's like, I want to buy your motorcycle. And then we got talking. I'm like, where are you from? And he said, Africa. And then we went into the whole drum thing, and an hour and a half later.
That's amazing. We took his beginner drumming class. And,
You did?
Yeah.
We were taking it for about a month.
Yeah, it was 8 weeks.
8 weeks, yeah.
Will he be there September 6th, 7th, 8th?
I'm hoping.
We were talking to Emily about them having a tent. Yeah.
Jordan's, I mean, look at what's in our hills, man. It's like...
It's wild what's like all over Vermont. Like it's crazy.
You're shaking them out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've made these talk about these connections. Well, we've made a friend in Maine, from Portland, Maine, and he turns out he is into African drumming, but his best friend is connected to the whole African drumming and dance community here in Barrie and Montpelier and Burlington.
Completely unrelated.
So we all it really just has been everything's just coming together.
I love that. So
Yeah.
Look at how many people you guys have met. I mean, first of all, you met each other, but look at how many people you guys have met just in the time that you've been together in a relationship. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's a huge family now.
Mm-hmm.
We make a lot of friends.
Yeah, and I'm so honored to be one of those. I mean, when I met you guys, I had never met you before, and it was the Green Mountain Smokeout. I saw the poster. I don't know where I saw the poster, but I'm like, what the hell is this? Where's this? What's going on? And I mean, I'm sitting there at that festival thinking, my God, the caliber of talent that's right here in the middle of nowhere in the mountains in Vermont. This is spiritual. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. I cannot believe that I'm here right now experiencing this, and I think that's going to be a similar sentiment for many people that make their way to the Bradford Fairgrounds in September. They're not going to believe their ears.
That's true.
It's literally a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Not that other people aren't doing what we're doing, but not out here,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you're taking, Sherilyn, who's from England, is always saying to me, you guys here in America are you're just not connected with the full spectrum of what's being created on this planet musically. We have our popular genres here in Vermont, and let's be honest, in our nation. But man, you guys are bringing in music you're introducing music to Vermonters, and it's not just reggae. There's world music. There's all kinds of stuff. There's you guys have done stuff with folk artists. You're all over the road.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Yeah, and it's conscious music. It's bringing change and spreading the positivity. And, peace and unity versus this image that our society tends to lean into.
It's very, very easy to gravitate and get consumed by all of the negative shit. It's probably running 90% of what's on our phones, what's on our TVs, what's on our radios, what's in the news. But when you events that you guys do, and I don't even care if it's your Tuesday night open mic nights over at the listening room, everything is unplugged from all that shit, and people are neutraled out.
They are.
Leave it at the door.
Leave it at the door. That's
yeah.
it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Tuesday nights at the listening room. Real quick plug on that, please.
Listening room in Bradford, Vermont.
Where the hell is that?
Bradford?
Well, where's the listening room?
It's in front of the East Coast Van Build's shop.
Okay.
Out front, right on Route 5.
Just down past Hannaford.
Just two places from Hannaford. We're like 2 minutes off the highway. It's a right and a left, or a left and a right, depending on which direction you're coming from. But every Tuesday, 7 to 10. Lately, we've been going a little bit later because a week ago, there was at least 100 people there. We start at 7. Sign-ups are usually full by like 3 after 7. So if you're coming to play, get there early.
Yeah.
We've been rotating food vendors this summer. Everything from authentic Korean, authentic Mexican tacos. We've had a pizza guy come in. We've got another pizza guy coming in. But you can keep track of that at the Listening Room VT on Instagram. We'll update the Root Entertainment website shortly too, so you can get the information on Facebook.
If I were to put my kungas in the back seat of the car and drive out some Tuesday night, would I be welcome to come in?
Yes.
You're very welcome. There's actually a percussion setup there, but you're more than welcome to bring your own as well. We have an in-house drum kit, percussion rig, bass rig, guitars, piano. But we can mic anything that shows up. We've got everybody. There's usually horns. I mean, it's by the end of the night. Most nights there's anywhere from 7 to 13 people on stage playing.
That is so good. Every Tuesday.
Yes, every Tuesday. And our friend Ryan plays the trumpet, and he always accompanies almost everybody on stage.
Yeah.
And
what was that band that I saw?
Long Arm Rex?
Yes.
Wow.
No. That was a wild show. That was so fun.
Those guys. And we tried to get them for the Reggae Fest, but they're not available. Someone was
Long
out
Arm
and they had
Rex.
some kind of a surgery or something, so they're not available till after there. But they were.
Was that the
was a
same guy
scene.
that joined in on Horn that night?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
I love to see that. And, and we brought Lily, and she was just, I mean,
We saw her dancing by the end of it. She was resisted for a little
yeah,
while.
she
but
did resist. It took a little while to pull her out of the shell, but man, and let's talk about kids because, and we're getting asked about that. The Green Mountain Reggae Festival. Let's talk about families. Is this a family friendly thing?
Very. Yeah. So
Talk to
we're,
Yes, please.
12 and under free.
What?
Yep. 12 and under free.
Wow.
And we're going to have a children's tent, a whole separate tent. We're looking at probably keeping it off to the side a little bit so it's not in direct blasting of the music,
pump
you
of the
know?
music, yeah.
But someplace it's going to be secure and safe for children to be, probably unattended by their parents, but having chaperones or
Yeah.
people overseeing it. But we'll have hopefully games, art, all of that. We're still working on all that, but there will be a children's tent that for kids that attention spans aren't a full festival.
Exactly.
Can go hang out and draw some stuff, come back, whatever. But there'll be definitely a lot for the children to do.
Now, let's talk about also, we have to ask this, consumption and retail and some of the vendors that are going to be there that promote that.
Yeah, so obviously it'll be highly promoted by our cannabis family.
Yes.
They're very involved. Winooski Organics is a huge part of everything that I do. One of the they're kind of partners in Root Entertainment. We will be abiding by all Vermont state laws when it comes to cannabis consumption, selling. There will be no sales at all. I guess we'll get back to the consumption part of it. But we'll be following all state laws, whatever they end up being at the time. I don't want to say they're loose, but there are some gray areas that we're figuring out. So I don't want to give too much information to be wrong right now. But there'll definitely be a friendly event, I imagine, and there'll be a bunch of cannabis companies there advertising what they do, and we've got locally there's Devil's Den Cannabis is in walking distance. 5 Seasons Cannabis down in White River is on the way, and it's like 20 minutes away.
Forbins will be there.
Forbins will be there. As for being able to purchase when you're in town, those are the two probably companies that right in town's Devil's Den, and then 5 Seasons Cannabis in White River. Forbins will be there. Winooski will be there. Nobody will be selling cannabis on site.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's but they'll be giving away maybe some
Swag.
some freebies.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some kind of cannabis fairy floating around someplace.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. My buddy Joe here is Joe. You there?
I'm here, JD. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm assuming you're going to be there, pal. We've lost him. My buddy Joe is a huge fan of reggae and great food and a great scene like this, and I'm sure he's going to be there. I would be stunned if he's not. But let's talk about some of these. So the camping. So there's a limited number of RV sites,
Yeah,
but you
we've
can also
got
bring a tent.
eight RV sites with their 20 by 50 sites, but they are water and 30 amp hookups.
Okay.
We only have 8 of those, but that's on the ground.
So if this is something that you want, then you need to get on it.
If you're an RV person, definitely get on it. There's only eight passes for that are plug in. We may end up opening up some other options for
tents,
non hookups. You know,
Okay.
like
Oh,
spots
yeah.
for RVs with no hookups.
Sure.
But we do have tent sites. They're on the grounds, and the grounds are all fenced in, which is really great.
Yeah.
But the camping area, tent camping will be on site. Parking will be adjacent to the tents. There won't
Yes.
be in the tent area, but they're adjacent, so you'll have access to your car all weekend. There's a giant general admission parking on site, so you'll be able to park right on the grounds and access the festival that way.
Wow. And if you would like to bring a tent, the time to start planning for this is right now. And when you get your tickets, add that in.
Yep. So there's right now weekend passes are available. If you want camping, you purchase a campsite.
Yeah.
Right now it's $30, which is pretty cheap considering it's for 4 people, up to 2 tents. It's a 10 by 20 area, 10 by 15 area. So you'll 4 of your friends, 2 tents. Obviously you can get multiple ones if you got you're coming with a big crew. And yeah.
Wow. Joe, you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Sorry, guys. I hit that dead spot in the access road.
Man, listen to this lineup, buddy. Easy Star All-Stars, Mahali, Sundub, Mighty Mystic, Coyote Island, Soul Rebel Project, and Adria Joy. Can you believe that?
It sounds great, man. Mahali's going to be awesome. We love Twiddle and what he's been doing and where he's been playing. It's going to be an amazing show, guys. It's going to be amazing. I saw that last night. You sent it to me. Thank you for sending it to me. We got to get there, man.
Yeah, we're going to be there. And in Connor, your kid, he just absolutely loves this stuff as well.
Yeah, so Twiddle has a song called In the Cold. It's literally one of 3 of our anthems that we play when we go adventuring. It's one of those fun things that it's a uniquely powerful song for an adult that has been or known somebody with addiction issues. You know what I mean? It's, to me, one of the most powerful songs, but to me, it's one of the most energy uplifting songs as well. So it gives your brain kind of a mind fuck for a second. But
yeah.
So he loves it, man. We've seen Twiddle probably, I don't know, 15, 20 times now. He just loves the band. We've seen Mahali solo for those last 3 or 4 shows up here in Vermont when he opened for Soja, and he's been touring now without the band, which is another side of him that is just simply really cool because he's like the jam man now, right? So he literally became himself, right? So we saw him their last trip up here in Burlington. It was amazing, and we can't wait to. We got to go either way. We either got to bring the taco shell up, we got to go enjoy the festival, and I've been really waiting to see Sundub. We've talked a lot about it. I've seen Rooted Entertainment on your show, and everybody talks about them. I'm really excited. We love reggae over here, as you know.
I know, and Mighty Mystic too. This guy out of Boston, it will absolutely blow your mind, Joe. And the Easy Star All-Stars, Joe. Can you believe that?
Yes, I've also seen those guys in and around Boston as well. I think they've done a couple of the Sensi nights down in Boston, the Sensi Boston nights. I used to work with that publication. So really, really, really great stuff. I almost want to thank one of my best friends is, I got to check it out because he used to be the drummer for them. I got to see if he's going to be up here.
For who?
For Easy Star All Stars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, my buddy Randall, who's also in. Remember the band Kong I told you about? I sent you some links to. He's in that band. It's a very different variation, but he's in the Easy Star All Stars, or has sat in with them on a couple events.
Hey, I probably shouldn't mention this, Joe, but guess who Matt had nibbling on the end of his line for this?
What's that?
Hip abduction.
Oh, nice. Oh man, you know what though? Grand State Lion, good friend of mine, Jarif. We've worked with a bunch of his artists before through Dubtech, my production company. And there is some amazing, just New England, I got to call based reggae. You know what I mean? We used to work a lot with the, Afri VTL, if anybody remember that drumming band, but they were also part of the Sierra Leone Refugee All-Stars. So
I've seen them.
They're amazing, right?
They are. I saw them in Burlington, yeah.
Yeah, so Vermont band, and there was just basically a drum band that would pick you right by your seat, JD, and have you dancing all night. They were phenomenal. I used to manage those guys. So like we used to tour with like Sierra Leone, who like resides in Vermont quite a bit. Over in New Hampshire, there's some great artists. You got like Brett Wilson doing his thing over there. So it's like there's so many awesome little shows and great artists. And now I think the country's starting to see it. As you can see, the tours are coming through with like the Dirty Heads, and we're going to go see Stick Figure here in Mansfield. And it's like that whole implosion is starting to come back to New England, which I'm so excited for, because it seems like, you know, all these great shows, all these great artists, but no one's penetrating New England, right? So.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like Higher Ground is pulling in that style of music anymore, which is sad to see. You know what I mean?
Rooted Entertainment Solutions is. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Stick Figure's huge. I absolutely love them. And Joe is a huge Mike Love fan.
Joe,
Yep.
did you mention that you know Granite Lion? Paul?
Yes.
Yeah, so Paul's great. Yeah, we're actually heading out that way this weekend to do a show,
Oh, man.
not at one of his places, but we frequent Bernie's, Wally's,
Yes.
the Goat.
I'm trying to get JD to go down to Bernie's some night with me, and just go hit the beach.
If I go down to Bernie's, I'm not coming home that night. I'll tell you that right now.
That's all right, JD. The beach is always open, and they don't charge you to sleep.
Yeah,
That's where we sleep, right there on
we
the
park
strip.
right in
yeah.
front of Wally or in Bernie's every time we go.
Can
to
I
Denver.
come?
Yeah.
Sleep
I
on the
invited?
couch. Yeah,
Oh my
you have
God!
to sleep on the couch with
Sundub's
Mika.
playing in Salisbury on Sunday.
Sunday, right on the ocean, Salisbury Beach.
Salisbury Beach.
It's
Right,
it's
that's right on the
called
border.
Salisbury Surf
It's called
Club.
Surfside, and
That's-
the
Surf
deck.
Club.
It's a deck outside. It literally hangs over the ocean. The
So that's
water's
like
coming
that's
underneath.
Massachusetts, New Hampshire border,
It's-
right?
right
Yeah,
on
it's
the
like
border,
15 minutes from Hampton.
Yeah, so we'll be doing. We're going out to do lights for them Sunday.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's another great place.
Before I forget, tell us about Forbin's and what's happening with Forbin's Finest right here in the Granite City at the end of this month on the 27th, part of the Heritage Festival. What's happening?
Yeah, so a week from Saturday is what was it called? You said the Berry
The Berry
Home Days?
Heritage
Days.
Festival.
Yes. So Forbin's is having during the day, starts I think at noon. Is Sada Sound. Matt is a DJ. He's a reggae DJ in the area. He's always around doing his thing. So he'll be noon to 3. There's going to be glass blowing, a bunch of vendors during the day at Forbin's out front in their parking lot. They've got a bunch of cannabis vendors out there showing their thing.
What are they making with the glass? Are they making like Christmas tree ornaments?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably.
Just wondering.
With holes on 2 ends,
Oh,
in case you
Those kind.
got to do the thing.
Go ahead.
They and then at they're gonna shut down for a minute to sound check the headliner, and they've got Marcus Rezak, who is quite the guitar player. I don't know which set he does. Some dead stuff. I think he does Fish stuff. He's got a bunch of his own stuff, but he's always organizes these crazy bands. Bring in musicians from all over, depending on where he is, and just
Yeah.
really blowing it out. We're coming in and doing the production with them. There's a couple of other smaller acts, acoustic acts playing before him. Music starts at 5, 6, 7. I think Marcus goes on at 7, but we're bringing in full production. We're running extra lighting and all sorts of stuff. So it's gonna be a hit. They got a big tent coming in. So I think they're kind of closing out the whole Heritage Festival at
That's going to
Forbin's
be
parking lot.
That's going to be absolutely incredible. Green Mountain Reggae Festival.com, and I just posted up that if you want to go to this September 6th, 7th, and 8th in Bradford, get on right now because you got some early bird specials going.
Early bird, yeah. So for the next 2 weeks, there'll be, because we'll be announcing our second line, the rest of the bands in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So right now, that early bird, it's $100 weekend tickets. It's 3 days, 2 bands, One Love, for $100. And like I said, this is only half the lineup. We've got a pretty great second half coming out in 2 weeks.
What?
Yeah, this is half.
This is phase one.
Phase one. Yeah.
Yeah, so seeing those bands is well worth $100, even if you
Yeah.
didn't even go for 3 days, right?
Amen. Sister. Amen.
And there's
Yeah.
going to be workshops during the day, so like making a weekend out of it. There's going to be all sorts of stuff to do. It's in walking distance to downtown Bradford. It's full of all sorts of unique and eclectic shops and restaurants. So coming out to Bradford for the weekend and just making it a thing. Music starts right around 3 every day. There'll be DJs and stuff all day, but
That was
during
a
the day
question I
there's going to
had,
be
yeah.
workshops. There'll be yoga in the morning. You'll wake up and yoga.
Bessie doing that?
I imagine she'll probably
yeah.
do
Yeah.
1 or 2 of them. Yeah, we'll probably rotate out.
Yeah.
There'll be a bunch of different people doing different things. So
All right. We listen. I'm saying this to anyone in the media or anything, radio, TV, print. You got to jump on this. You got to grab this. You got to promote this. This is huge.
So if we could real quick.
Please.
Obviously, we're reggae. I've been wanting to do a reggae festival anyways. But what really sweetens this up is there used to be a reggae fest in Vermont, in Burlington, on North Beach for I don't know how many years. But they used to bring 40,000. The last year they were there, 40,000 people to Burlington, to North Beach.
Wow.
Yeah, 40,000. They used to have steel pults, and you know what I mean, like the real reggae, and that's what we're shooting for is roots reggae. Obviously, that's higher. Everything's hybrid now, you know. So like everybody's got their mixes, which is what's reggae isn't an original genre. It started from ska, and rocksteady, and then so there's
Sublime.
merges all these other types of music to create reggae, which is
Yes.
really. I mean, look at Bob Marley. There's
Sure.
obviously the perfect, from James Brown to
Sure.
he just put all this stuff together. So yeah, forgot where I was going with that, but
No. Yeah.
oh, the Reggae Fest. So yeah, and then they moved it to a couple other places. It actually ended up. The last place was in Johnson.
Okay. That's now we're.
Yep.
This
That's
is
the
coming
Reggae
to me
Fest, the last one, and it just was too big. And what's really wild is when I first moved to Vermont in my RV, I lived on that property, not knowing it was the Reggae Festival property. And then I ended up meeting Mike, who put the Reggae Festival on. He passed, I think, about 8-9 months ago, but he wrote a book about it, which I'm still waiting for in the mail. But so like we're trying to do it right and bring a reggae festival, the Reggae Festival, back to Vermont. It'll be much smaller to start out, and we're trying to stick to roots. Right now, it's mostly Northeast reggae. A lot of Boston. We've got
New York.
Maine. Yeah, New York, like Ithaca, Rochester, upstate New York. We've got a bunch of bands. That's where I'm originally from. But
Yeah.
you've got bands like John Brown's Body, Giant Panda coming out of there. They're not necessarily on our list, but that's the type of music that's coming out of that area.
Yeah.
Real good roots rock reggae.
John Brown's Body fell on my lap. I think my guess is late 90s, maybe.
Could be, yeah.
Saw him at Higher Ground, had absolutely no idea who I was seeing, and walked in and experienced that. I was just blown. I could not believe they were from New
Right,
York. I mean,
yeah.
right across the pond.
They
Amazing.
They're actually touring with that probably lineup. So Kevin Kinsella is one of the original singer, and like the last 12 years it's been somebody else, Elliot, which is amazing. But this year we got to see them at Sugarloaf. They're
Sugarloaf.
touring-
Yeah,
they're touring with-
I missed that event.
So we actually almost had JBB. There was
Almost.
a scheduling conflict with one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did reach out to them.
But JBB did that show up at Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf,
though.
yeah.
Yeah. The weather wasn't great, but people.
Yeah,
don't
they were
care.
inside. We got moved inside too.
Yeah.
It ended up being decent. They could have been outside, but production, that's
Sure.
the way it goes.
Of
But yeah,
course.
JBB. I think they're Hampton Beach
Yeah.
sometime soon is like the next closest spot. I definitely would recommend catching this incarnation of it because it's kind of the OG lineup. And who knows if and when it'll happen again. So
I remember when that Reggae Fest kind of dissipated in Johnson, and the level of disappointment from so many people that was the end. And you guys are resurrecting this and bringing it back. But you also know,
Resurrected.
you also know that that you've got to, if you're going to do this, you got to do it right. You got to have plenty of space everything has to be orchestrated. There's so many logistics that are involved. There's parking. It has to be well organized, and that's key.
Yeah.
You know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Yeah, we've got it. We've got a whole team this time, which is not something we normally do. It's usually us.
Yeah.
But I've got kind of a board of people, like somebody handling sponsors, someone handling vendors, and it's all split up. So I've got a local guy on the ground doing all the permitting and all that stuff. So it's
Sure.
it's been seamless.
What do you do during showtime? Your lights and sound.
Yeah, normally. So for something this big, I'll just be running it. We're hiring everybody in at this point. So like I'll be maintaining. Normally I'm production manager and do a little lighting. I may jump on the lights depending on what time and who's there, but
Okay.
I'll be hiring it all out because we just won't have something this big. We'll have to like oversee. We've got volunteers, we've got production, hospitality, parking.
Do you need more volunteers?
So yeah, that's great. So you can go to the website. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for vendors, whether it be food, whether it be retail. We're looking for sponsors. There's all sorts of different sponsor opportunities, from presenting sponsors. We have a spot for one presenting sponsor, stage sponsors, down to just regular, just smaller, a $500 entry and get you in the festival, and you have representation at the festival itself on a little bit. So there's all sorts of sponsorship opportunities, volunteer opportunities, from parking to ticket taking to sanitation to, there's all sorts of options. Go to the website, contact info. There's actually forms there you fill out. They'll go to the to the people handling that, and then you'll get a call or an email back from either Corey or Hannah or Eddie. Or for healers, we're looking for, acupuncturists. So there's actually little cabins set up already on the festival grounds. I think we've got 6 or 7 of those. So we'll be able to, you'll have either be able to get one of those or bring your own tent. So there's like these little wooden structures, 3-sided wooden structures that are really cool. So
it's like a little village. with buildings.
It's a wellness village. It's a hamlet of healing.
Yeah, that is a hamlet of healing. Who came up with that?
Oh, yeah. I love words.
It's literally going on the sign. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's going to be a part of it for
Make sure that sign looks good, because if you get a bad sign with great words, that's not working.
Oh,
Right.
it's going to look
It
so
has
good.
to look good.
There's going to be flowers everywhere.
Yeah.
So
there'll be not a shrine, but
Oh, an altar
an altar.
in honor of the reggae culture and Bob Marley,
Bob Marley.
who we worship.
Yeah.
And all of the
And all of the
great. The reggae world lost a lot of royalty this last year.
Yeah.
So it's been a trip. But yeah, so if you want to be involved, there's many ways to get involved with the Reggae Fest. We've got volunteers rolling in already. We actually sold tickets yesterday, which doesn't normally happen first day, but yeah, so the momentum's good. We're very well organized. Everything's going to be, done really well. It's clean.
Yeah.
We're looking for as close to a zero footprint as possible.
Yeah.
When it comes to recycling and composting and eliminating single-use plastics and containers, it's going to be one of our biggest goals we're working on right now, which is not impossible. A lot of festivals do it, so we're as close to zero footprint as possible.
Bessie, what happens to Matt in the hours and minutes before a reggae performance? Obviously, let's begin with the shoes. The shoes come off.
Right. Okay.
And then followed by the shirt.
No, the shirt. Well, I think usually it goes from a t-shirt to a tank top. Definitely lose the sleeves.
Yeah.
And he is more focused than anybody I've ever
That's
known,
it.
but also capable of answering a question or like dropping what he's doing and to go do something else and then going back to what he's doing, which is not a skill of mine. I like to stick to the same task, but he's like, it's being a boss, of a pretty a company having 7 employees, I think is helpful in that.
Very much.
That you can direct people and also still be doing your own stuff.
Yeah,
Which is
and I get that. I don't try to. I mean, I don't try to chew the fat with you while you're behind the light board, because I understand you're so focused on what you're doing, and there's a look in his eyes.
there is for sure.
Yeah.
And a groove.
There's a
He's got a
slight
little groove going.
This
yeah.
is a slight rotation of the dreads. Yeah.
That time, when your first time you saw me, is definitely, and I think about it a lot, that Giant Panda show.
Oh.
Man, when that music, and then Hakeem, who was their sound engineer who came with them, who I've known for a long time because he's from Rochester and we've worked together. He's actually coming to the festival as one of the sound engineers. But I remember sitting on him when we had put a deck up so we could see over people. And the minute that music started, like, we were locked. Like,
Yeah.
our table, our whole platform was rocking, and it was the same. And, like, that was one of my favorite shows I've ever done as a lighting engineer, and working with a sound engineer, and just the whole thing. It just, like,
Yeah.
man, it was so great and just lined up so perfectly. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
It is such a pleasure and frankly an honor to know you guys, to be connected with you. I just met some, and no disrespect to you, Matt, because you're from New York and everything. You haven't been here forever, like your cohort here. But I just met someone the other day, and I was like, yeah, Rooted Entertainment Solutions and Matt. And they were like, oh, yeah. And I was like, Bessie Sandberg. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You got a local girl here, man. I mean, she's connected with...
For sure. For sure. I mean, those tickets that we all sold yesterday were primarily from
Yes.
like the group. Same thing with the volunteers. It's definitely helped having feet on the ground when it comes to advertising. I saw a huge influx of people coming to our shows when she started advertising.
See that?
Definitely helps.
See that? That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a mission of mine to like spread love and create community. So it's like perfect situation. Like,
How'd you meet Matt? What happened?
Us?
I went to he had a show at the Listening Room, and I had heard there was music there, and so I went there. And we a friend of ours introduced us. I think. Yeah.
So the guy that owns the property where the smokeout was, he was
Yeah.
like one of my first homies in Vermont because he had a van and came in and did the things, and I ended up living on the property for a little while. But yeah,
And he was my basketball coach in like 3rd grade. So yeah.
Isn't that amazing? It's amazing.
Yeah, and we just met, and kind of after I was like traveling after that. I went to Mexico, and then I was in Oregon, and all these things, and we kind of just reconnected and went for a hike and discovered our moms have the same birthday, and that Matt came here originally to start a composting business when my family has a composting business. Just these little, all these things,
So
and then
cool.
we both love Bob Marley, and
Yeah.
there we go.
That's it.
There we went.
so fun fact, I found out not too long ago after I did this with my hair, but I was born hours after Bob Marley passed away.
Really?
He might be a reincarnate.
Hours. I didn't say that. but I'm
1981.
1981. Yeah, he passed away around noon. I was born around 2
In May?
May.
It is
May
May.
11th.
Babies. May 11th, yeah.
And then the album Legend was released in 84, and that was when I was born. So
In what year?
84.
You were born in 84?
Yeah.
I'm old.
Damn. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, but I'm not that.
So one more time to recap. Green Mountain Reggae
Green
Festival.
Mountain Reggae Festival.com. Go there, get your tickets. Early bird tickets will only be on sale, and then the prices are going up. We got, it's 3 days, 2 stages, 1 love. Let's keep that in mind. It's all about community and spreading the love through music, connecting through the music. the message is in the music, so like
Yeah.
come in and just, like you said, when you leave it at the door,
Yes.
people from all walks of life can come. And that's why I got into the business. We won't get into that, but like, it's what connects people. That's
Sure.
vibration. It changes,
You've had many, each of you separately have had many different unusual chapters in your own personal lives where if it wasn't for music, you might not be the person that you are today.
100%. Yeah. I mean, Sad Song. I mean, the reason I'm working with, it's a long story. The reason I'm working with Sundub is because of Sad Song, the artist Sad Song. Ben was the drummer, and that music changed the complete direction of my life. And I'll tell you what, your friend there talking about Mahali and Twiddle, I don't know if I've ever like had so many people have that life-changing as much as with Twiddle.
Sure.
Like, legit people telling me Twiddle saved their lives, like
Yeah.
whether it be close to the knife or the gun or pills, like they legit, like his music saved their lives.
Sure.
And that was a big step forward in this direction of like, this is what's going to help heal the world.
Yeah.
And stuff like that from Mahali to the light happy music that Coyote can put out, and
Sure.
then all the messages, Sundub, Mystic, whether it's, strength and unity or, positive vibes or, let's stop being pushed around by the people that
Sure.
are trying to keep us separate. That's all, we're coming together and, do it for all.
I would love to, and it's going to happen at some point. I'd love to sit down with you and just not necessarily promote a reggae festival, but just take a super deep dive into just this, what we're talking about right now.
And
Yes.
Bessie's in there too.
I'm
She's
in
gonna
there.
be
I'm
three of
so
us.
there.
probably mention it, but we'll end up doing can we talk about the
Talk about it.
thing, the aired out and about?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Yes.
So obviously we'll soon, hopefully, we'll start doing podcasts or recordings, YouTube channel, whatever it ends up being, with just music talk.
Just
Music
talking
talk,
about
get
music.
out on the road, possibly.
I
The
come
plan
to,
is
I
to-
come to you.
Yeah, and then we'll set up at these festivals, do interviews with artists, and broadcast things, and give people the info, and so we can we'll jump into a lot of that stuff, and that's going to end up being like a 5 to 25 part series.
Easily.
yeah. So.
Super sharp niche right there, and one that I think really needs to be tapped into a little bit more. It's one thing to have great talent presented in front of us and to experience that, but a whole nother thing to go below that and find out we're all individuals. We all have different stories. Every single one of us is unique in a different way, but to find out the commonality of what brings us to music as the hub is fascinating to me, and I want to go there. I want to do that with you, with both of you, if we can.
Yeah, it'd be great to keep doing it and leading up to the festival too, and help
Sure.
bring people there when they start understanding what actually goes on there outside of the reggae music.
Yes. Right.
That's just the catalyst that gets everybody together. It's-
There's
Yeah.
catalyst. That's the word right there. That's exactly it. Right. Conduit.
Conduit, yes.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I wanted to say too, the other day we were talking about how, some people don't want to go to concerts because it's like 2 hours away, or it's on a Sunday and they have
Sure.
to work the next day, or, the time is often a constraint for people. And what I was saying the other day is I was like, but they don't realize that they're healing lifetimes. Like
Yes.
they're healing like generations by going to these shows and being, completely just present and, receiving these vibes and
Yeah.
and emanating back out.
Yeah. Exactly. You
And
see-
and you make friends that will last lifetimes,
Absolutely.
and you re-meet people who that you see at all the other shows, and then they're a family. So it's just like this time thing of like, oh, I can't do this because of this constraint that I have. Is
Yeah.
like,
Isn't
I mean,
it
I get
amazing?
it. I
Yeah.
totally get it. But
Yeah.
but like when you look at it a little more closely, then you can really like see that there's like so much more to it than this like
Sure.
this box that you put yourself in.
When I was at that Green Mountain Smokeout, I mean, literally, it didn't matter if an asteroid had hit down the road.
Exactly.
I was, because you say present. I mean, I was so present. I was right there. Nothing else was renting any space in my mind. And that's what this is. That's what you guys are doing. That's what you're bringing to people. That's what Rooted Entertainment Solutions ultimately is. That's the foundation of what you guys are all about. And that's more than anything. That's what I love about you guys. Also, the fact that you got some pretty kick-ass hair and you take your shirt off and your shoes and you act like a goofball. Thank you guys for coming in here, man.
Thank you so much, JD.
We love you. We appreciate you. And hopefully we'll drag Raylene out to this
Yes,
one of these shows, and
We'll make it a job for the Reggae Festival.
thank you guys so
Yeah.
much for
Thank you.
coming in here this morning. We're going out with Coyote Island this morning, and here before. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Keeping track of the days I sing, losing count of the ways I bring my love to you. There was a night where we met in June, Lucy on my mind but my eye on you in the firelight. You're looking my way with your eyes so blue, at the feeling of a love so true, ain't hard to see. Well, I've been here before, and so have you. Well, I've been here before, and so have you. This is a one-way ticket, no comeback. It's a long line to get it, that's a fact. I wouldn't lie to you, I wouldn't lie to you. And now we in it and time gon' tell if the future coming to ring my bell. I'm in line with it, I'm in line with it. Well, I've been here before, and so have you. Well, I've been here before, and so have you. It's a one-way ticket, no comeback. It's a long line to get it, that's a fact. I wouldn't lie to you, I wouldn't lie to you. And now we in it and time gon' tell if the future coming to ring my bell. I'm in line with it, I'm in line with it, yeah. Well, I've been here before, and so